Shalom Yeshaya. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Shalom. From Egypt to Israel. Shalom. Shalom Shabbat. Get, get, get. Well, since we got a couple brothers here, KOY Israelites Inland Empire. Shalom. Since we got a couple brothers here, my heart finna be back here in a second. I might as well grab a couple proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1. It says, "A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger." This is common knowledge, right? This is knowledge that we should have. This is common wisdom that we should have. If you truly want a situation to de-escalate, if you truly want a situation to calm down, right, you respond with a soft answer, right? No matter what the occasion is, this works for any and everybody, right? You don't de-escalate a situation by saying, how can I put this? Trying not to use a lot of cuss words, right? By calling somebody a B word. You don't de-escalate the situation that way. You don't de-escalate a situation by what is it? What is it? Calling somebody an N-word and saying F you and blah blah blah. That's not how you de-escalate a situation. That's not how you turn away wrath, right? That is grievous words. It says that stirs up anger. When you truly want the situation to calm down, if you truly want to handle the situation, you reply with soft answers, right? That's what a wise man would do. We see this example many occasions with Paul in the New Testament, right? When Paul was confronted by King Agrippa, Paul spoke soft words. He didn't speak grievous words. Paul was a man of wisdom. He would have spoke grievous words, they would either thrown him in prison or killed him, right? This is how we use wisdom. KOY Israel dropped Proverbs 15 and 18. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. That's a beautiful precept to go with this, right? I know they're in the same chapter, but it's still a beautiful precept because a wrathful man is going to stir up strife. He's gonna pour out grievous words. He's gonna pour out contention. He's gonna try to offend at every point he can. It says, but he that is slow to anger, that's what we all have to be. That's what we all have to strive for. That comes with patience. It comes with time. It comes with a lot of things. But it says, he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife, right? A lot of the times, most men I know do not want strife and contention. That is something that we try to avoid. What do we want strife and contention for? There's no reason for strife and contention. We try to avoid these things at all costs. So that's why we have to therefore be slow to anger. That's why we have to answer, well, Slack, that's why we have to give a soft answer to turn away wrath. Because when things escalate amongst men, we know um, when men get emotional and things escalate amongst men, it tends to be very bad, right? It tends to um, the situation leads to the police getting involved. Situation leads to violence. Situation leads to brothers putting hands on other people, knives getting pulled out, guns getting pulled out, death, prison. This is what happens when wrath is stirred up amongst men. This is not a new thing. This is not new at all. We've seen this from the very beginning of time. Wars, you name it. Bar fights, you name it. This has been going on throughout the history of time, right? So, like, you can get in there if you want. I'll just pull out a proverb and then somebody threw a precept.
Which proverb? Which proverb did you bring out?
I read Proverbs 15 and 1 and then KOY through Proverbs 15 and 18 on there. And so I just broke them two down.
Okay, kind. Let me see who I want to chat. We got Yashai 777 from Egypt to Israel Shawab. KOY Israelites, Inland Empire. Shalom to everybody that's in the chat. Everybody who hasn't commented, Shalom. I want to throw a quick precept on it because I briefly heard what you was going into. And it's Proverbs chapter 16 and verse 24. It says, pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. And the crazy part is my wife showed me this scripture a few years back, and it always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. It says, pleasant words are as an honeycomb, sweet to the soul and health to the bones. And that's the kind of mouthpiece you want to have. Even as a man, you want your words to be sweet. You want them to be helpful. You want them to be health to somebody's bones. You don't want to always be talking about madness, right? And that's never. And for the women out there, that's how you want your words to be. You want them to be sweet like a honeycomb, right? Where you can actually restore your man, and the kind of spirit that a woman should be coming in. You don't even have to speak to show your husband, or your father, or a friend, or whatever the case may be, that you're there for him. That's a beautiful spirit to have. That's a beautiful characteristic or a virtue to have. That's a beautiful skill, right? And we all try to increase in that kind of way. But you want to bring out more proverbs? How you feeling?
Yeah, I got one more.
Okay.
Proverbs 15 and 21, it says, folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. So we see that folly, foolishness, madness, wrath, all of these things are joy to the man that's destitute of wisdom, to the man that doesn't have wisdom, right? We see this countless of times, where in the hoods, on the streets, in the rap community, right? In our community, we see that folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom. This is where we get all these lyrics about killing our brothers, killing so and so, or I put him in the grave, or I did this. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, right? Destitute of the knowledge of God, right? These things are joy. This brings joy to them when they slide and kill their brother, right? Because that's what it is. I'm not going to use the word. When they slide and go kill their brother, that brings them joy, right? It's just, we're not going to sugarcoat it. It brings them joy to commit such things because they're destitute of wisdom, right? They don't know they don't truly know the magnitude of what they're doing or what they're committing or how they're acting, right? A lot of the times, men in prison will tell you they didn't find out that they was doing shit wrong until they had to sit down a couple years. And I didn't really know the magnitude of what I was doing. I killed somebody's father. I killed somebody's son. I did this. I did that. I was a monster. They'll let you know that I was a monster. And it's because they was destitute of wisdom. But on the other end of the scripture, it says, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. And we know that to walk uprightly, you have to walk in the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Because he has understanding. He has understanding of life, of what that means. He has understanding of what his brother means to him, to his nation, to his kids, to his wife. A man of understanding knows the impact of one brother, right? One may seem like a small number, but one can turn into a multitude very quickly, right? But Salakia, that's all I got on that. Kind. Look like the brother doing something. It's all good. Let me see. Let me see. Proverbs 15:32. I'm saying in Proverbs 15 because Proverbs 15 is hot, you know? It's got a lot of wisdom. Hey, Zion, can you still hear me? Make sure I'm still here.
Con.
All right, Con, all praises. Proverbs 15:32, it says, He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. When it says he that refuses instruction, it's not talking about any common instruction. No, this is talking about instruction in the ways of the Most High God. This is talking about instruction given by the Most High God, the law, statutes, commandments, right? The instruction given by Yahweh Shah, right? These are the instructions that was given. But it says he that refuseth those instructions despise his own soul. How does he despise his own soul? If you're getting led in the wrong way, if you're moving in the wrong way, if you're living your life without instructions of the Most High God, it's ultimately going to lead to your demise. It's going to lead to your destruction. It's going to lead to you dying. I believe the scriptures say, "He that committeth adultery lacketh understanding." Right? That's because he wasn't given the instruction on the repercussions of adultery. It's death. No matter how we look at it. The repercussions for adultery in the Old Testament was death. The repercussions under the New Testament is death. It's still death. You cannot commit adultery, no matter no way, shape, or form you look at it. If a man is not instructed on the way of idolatry, if you commit idolatry, guess what? It's ultimately going to lead to your destruction. That's why it says, "He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul." They don't know no better, right? The scriptures, I believe in Jeremiah, it says, "For my people are Sodom's children. To do good, they have no knowledge," right? We have no knowledge to do good. And this is why we see these men on the highways and byways being set up to give instruction, right? Scriptures say wisdom crieth in the chief places. Wisdom is in the streets. Instructions are in the streets. But it's up to the people either to hear it and receive it or to refuse it and despise their own soul. But Salaki, Mahar, you back, you got it.
Con, I was in my car, but it's pretty hot out there, and I don't think my little laptop can handle it. It was it was cutting in and out. And I thought y'all Wi-Fi was tripping at first, but I'm like, it's probably me. So I went in the house and everything working smoother. But let's go ahead and open up. You didn't open up, did you?
No, sir.
All right, Con. Zion, say something real quick. See if I can hear you.
Shalom. Is it working?
Yeah, you sound good, man. If you got any precepts,
Move. Get.
small points, bro, don't hesitate.
Con.
Hey, sometimes it's hard to get in the rhythm with me and Ahron because our rhythm is really good, but don't worry about that. Just bring it out.
No room.
Just bring it. Hey, you gotta communicate because I can tell when Ahron want to bring something out without him saying nothing. But with you gotta tell me.
Con.
All right, Con. First and foremost, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. It's a beautiful Sabbath. It's a beautiful day to put in some work for the Most High God with my brothers in this truth. So, the title of the lesson is Through the Spirit, number 18, times Pentecost. So we did want to spend a little bit of time talking about Pentecost, but wherever the Spirit takes us, we're ready to go there too. So let's go to Leviticus chapter. You want to go to the one in Exodus 23 first, Zach, or what? What you think?
Uh, Sure, we can look at it in Exodus because that's where it was given first, so that's fine.
Let's do it. Exodus 23, and you remember the verse?
Let me see, because I remember we got into a lot last night. Let me see, man.
What, verse 9?
I can't study with this brother,
Verse
man.
10? I can't study with you. I remember why I stopped studying with you.
You said I remember why I stopped studying with you. It's verse 15. Zion, can you start at verse 15? I mean, right here it's talking about unleavened bread, but the next verse is gonna get into it.
This is Exodus 23, verse 15. It's Exodus 23, verse 15. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed in the month Abib, for in it thou camest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty.
Come on.
Verse 16, in the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field of in gathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. Three
Kind.
times.
Real quick. So predominantly, a lot of the times, what our people called it back then is the Feast of Harvest, right? We know it as the Feast of First Fruits. We know it as Pentecost, right?
Feast of
But
Weeks.
Feast of Weeks, right? Because it's dealing with a bunch of weeks. We're gonna get into that here in a second. But ultimately, what it is, the most simplest term you can use it, is the Feast of Harvest, right? Why? Because this is the time we harvest and we give to the Lord. We give our first fruits to the Most High God, right? He's the first. He's the person that gets everything first. When we say we give it to the Most High God, we go offer it up to the Levites, to the sons of Aaron, and they give this stuff up to the Most High God, right? Even dealing with your children, those that come first through the matrix, they're mine, right? All firstborn, they're mine, right? All of these things are the most high God. You remember you play what the hell is it called? When you call dibs on some shit, the most high God called dibs, right? He like, nah, I got dibs on first to everything around here. This is mine, and this is mine, right? He's our God. He can do such things. But Mahar, you got something before we move on?
Yeah, and that's how the Most High is with everything. He's with that with the land, or the fruit of the land. He's like that with cattle. He's like that with men. He's like that with anything that cometh out of the womb, the matrix. The Most High always give first fruits. He always do. And it's a blessing. It's really a blessing to be able to do that. It's for your benefit to be able to do that. He the one who blessed you with the harvest. He the one who blessed you with cattle. He's the one who blessed you with. He's the one who blessed you with all that. So it's only right to bless the Most High God and give it to Him. You know.
Yeah, all he asking for is a portion. It's not like it's not like he asking for your whole thing, your whole shebang. Why would he give it to you in the first place, right? He's
But
just asking for a portion back. Go ahead.
and you know how Jake is. He forget where his blessings come from. That's why the Most High do that. I'm led to believe this is the Most High got many reasons. It's a lot of understanding on why the Most High do what He do, and I'm led to believe this is one of the reasons. So you don't forget who blessing you. So you don't forget where these things is coming from. That's why He gave us the land. He gave us the land of Canaan, and He said, "Look, I'm gonna give this to you. You're gonna wax fat, and you're gonna forget about me. You're gonna forget." So He had charged us with these different things, so we don't forget. Just like the fringes, just like all the commandments, man. But it's on you.
Zion, keep reading. Baba Shah.
Con. This is verse 16. This is Exodus 23, verse 16. In the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, in the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. Verse 17. Three times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain unto the morning.
Come
The
on.
first, the first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into thy house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
All right, so this is kind of where we see the first about the Feast of the Harvest, right? It's not going too much into it. Like it's kind of going over assortment of laws in this area, right? But we can go to the one in Leviticus 23. Also, I thought of something, right? Made me think of this. Um, this is not really a strong rebuke. It's not really even a rebuke. It's just a thought that I just had that popped up in my head, right? to offer up or to because a lot of what first fruits is about is coming together, celebrating of the Most High God that He gave us these crops, the harvest, the abundance. You know, He gave us all these things, and we come together with the brethren, and we share our harvest with each other, right? What it made me think of was some brothers may make an excuse of to, well, I don't grow crops, or I don't grow things, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, right? Which in some cases, um, a lot of brothers may not have the resources to do it, right? Like a lot of people live in apartments, they don't have land, so on and so forth. Me personally, I feel if you got a backyard, you should be able to grow some stuff, unless your soil is just trash can, right? But it made me think of this. Um, Even with the Feast of Booths, right? How acceptable is it to say, well, shit, bro, I don't got a tent, so I'm gonna just kind of kick it here, man. I don't got a tent. You got some brothers be like, brother, go get a tent then. Get a tent. Come on, let's go. Same thing with the first fruits. Okay, I mean, you got a backyard, throw some seeds back there. Of course, follow it according to the law. You can't mix seeds in a certain field. You got to do things according to the law, right? But even still, just get your research up on it. We're agricultural people. It's going to be more beneficial for you in the long run if you learn how to grow your own food, right? Same thing with this first fruits. Grow your own food. When first fruits come around, it's going to actually feel amazing to share what you've grown with the brethren. Look, man, I've been working hard on this. It's going to be that much more impactful to come together with the brethren, be like, look, bro, I got this, I got that. It's kind of going to be like um a marketplace for the brethren. Y'all come together. Look, nigga, I grew greens this year. I got lettuce over here. I heard bro was growing some this. I kind of want to taste that. I heard Buddy was dealing with this. It's gonna make it that much more impactful. Not to mention you've been working on it. Not to mention the Most High God help you with it. You know, it's just going you're going to be more in touch with the feast of harvest, right? You're going to be that much more in touch with it. But go ahead, Slakia.
A few days ago, I called Malachi. I missed a call from Malachi, and I called him when I got off work. And you know how we normally do, we shoot the breeze. Shalom, what you got going? Nothing, just got off work. We shooting the breeze. I said, man, it's time for first fruits. And he was like, Khan, he screamed out Khan. I was like, bro, this is before the call from last night, by the way. If you and SOJ, then you know what the call was. It was a lot of it was a powerful conversation. But I was like, but we got to do more. I said, I want to keep more commandments because, it's certain commandments that I can't keep because I don't have a farm. I'm not into the agricultural laws like that. And I'm missing out on a big part of our heritage and on what our forefathers went through and how the lens that they saw life through, because I'm not into agriculture. Aharon been buying into that. He's been into that. He's been getting into herbs and medicines and fruit, and he's just getting more in tune with that. And it's at a perfect time. Everything takes time. But I just feel like I'm missing out on parts of the truth. Just like a man might feel like he's missing out on parts of the truth if he don't have a family. Just like a woman might feel like she's missing out on part of the truth and her life and what just fuels her to keep living, having a husband and taking care of kids. She's just missing out on like the beauty. And then I feel like the agriculture, the Most I don't want us to be afraid of husbandry, of tedious and hard work and labor and getting in tune with the seasons, getting in tune with the Most High, man. I feel like this is important. And I just feel like we got to push it. We got to push it even further. We got to go even harder. And we got to get in tune with this feast day, like Aharon said. So next year, I want to be able to show up with a potato at the very least and burn it to the Most High God. I don't know, bro. I got to get in the spirit and go harder, bro. We got to go harder. We can go harder, right? But that's what I just wanted to get that out. So like it.
I have a
Kind of
precept.
straight. Go ahead.
This is Ecclesiasticus 7:15. This is Ecclesiasticus 7 verse 15. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry which the Most High hath ordained. And then let me get the definition of husbandry.
Bring it out.
This
Hey,
is
real
yeah,
quick, and damn right, a single potato. I don't care if it's one potato. We got to start. Me personally, I got to start somewhere. Look, Elam, get it somewhere. I don't care if it's a single tomato. I'm finna do it. Go ahead,
bro.
Doc.
And Salaki and the Most High God so powerful. Most High God so powerful. Like one example I have of how he does things and how stuff grow. I was looking into growing peanuts. One nut from like a peanut, it's gonna yield probably around 10 other peanuts, right? It's just gonna
Tenfold.
yield that much more to increase, you know?
Tenfold.
So it's like how much more if you plant in abundance. If you plant in abundance, you're gonna receive in abundance. I mean, we know the common wisdom. All things that you sow in the ground is not gonna, it's not gonna come to be able to reap, and you're gonna be able to have it, right? But that's why you plant in abundance. Um, Back in the day, you had no other choice. It's either you plant and you till the ground, you do this, or you starve when winter comes. You choose, bro. I mean, that's on you. You got to deal with your family. You kind of was slacking. Matter of fact, grab your precept, Zion. I got another I think I got a precept I want to grab here in a second.
this was the Google definition of husbandry. It says the care, cultivation, and breeding of crops and animals. And I'll read the scripture again. This is Ecclesiasticus 7, verse 15. It says, hate not labor's work, neither husbandry, which the Most High hath ordained. So he's ordained this. This was ordained to be something that we need to be trying to actively do.
And Mahar, you can touch on first fruits in Leviticus while I get to this precept, because I haven't seen this precept in a minute, but I really
How's
want
it
to,
worded? I'm curious. Look, hey, go to Leviticus 23, Zion.
bro. It's I can't put my hand on it right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
For real. It's
Yeah,
hot. But what did Zion say to trigger it though?
it's it's going into being slothful in the harvest time, or it's going into being slothful when it's time to
Mm,
sow the seed.
I feel like it's in Proverbs. I know it's
It's
a
definitely in Proverbs.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Somebody.
I got it right here. I got it right here. I got
Okay,
it.
bring it up.
Proverbs 10:5. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causes shame. You don't want to be lazy during the time of harvest. You don't want to be slothful during the time of you need this. You kind of letting the fruit of the field go bad. Everything you just kind of you half-assing it. You really could have got 70 fold of what you planted. Instead, you kind of gathered 20. You kind of like, man, it was just hot. It's
Hey,
kind of just hot out there.
and what's really gonna happen is if you being man, the Bible is full circle. It's 360 degrees for sure. Um, what's gonna happen if you being a sluggard when it comes harvest time? Guess what you're gonna be doing? You're gonna be begging.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be begging. You're gonna live a beggar's life. And guess what? Now you're becoming a burden to your brothers.
Yep.
Man, it's a shame to beg, especially when you had the means to not put you putting. It's really like you don't love your brother. That's really what it's like, because you're gonna be taken out of your brother's household, out of your brother's family mouths, all because you didn't want to go work. And you know the parable of the 10 virgins, or maybe you don't. Maybe you
Precept.
don't. Bring it up.
Proverbs 20:4. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. This is kind of the time where you want to start plowing,
Hey,
getting the seeds in there.
Aharon, tell me
Mm-hmm.
why that's hitting way harder now.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me why that's. We got to catch them up on that.
Bro,
We
but check this out. Check this out. This is going to your point. This is going to your point. So I want to touch this real quick because it's going to your point. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. It's on you.
exactly, Exactly. That's too accurate, bro.
That's too accurate.
That's too accurate. Look at the script. So me and Aharon, we
Damn,
reading through
Tahuam dropped it too. That's nuts.
yeah, he in the spirit. He got that out there before, right when you was finishing it. He in the spirit. See, that's an officer right there. Oh my,
He said that's
it's so
all.
much on my spirit right now, and I'm trying to put it in place how I want to bring it out. All right, so I might as well just bring it out real authentically and through the spirit, because that's what this live is about, right? So last night, me and Aharon, we like, man, we not the best at bringing out the concept of Feast of Weeks. We're just not, like, we haven't even really embodied this feast day as well as we embodied we're not in tune with it as much as the other feast days, to just be completely honest, and to be 100. Why? We explained. We were city grown. We were grown in the city. I mean, we're city boys, as they would say now. I got to be
Mhm.
careful. Zion, that's stay off TikTok. So we didn't have the full experience of planting, sowing seeds, and doing husbandry. We haven't really got to. We didn't get to learn that. So this feast day, we don't really get the fullness of it. We don't got the full gravity of it, but we want that. We want to get in tune with the Most High. We want to feel that. We want to feel what our forefathers felt. We want to be in that spirit as our forefathers. So that's why we want to start trying to grow and stuff. That's why Aharon's spirit has already been going there. A few months back, his mind always been there, but lately the most I've been turning my spirit in the same direction. So, anyways, last night we was like, bro, we got to study up more. We got to learn more. So we learn, and we seeing how long it takes to grow wheat. How long it takes to how do you grow this? When do you grow it? How long does it take to harvest it? And we came across some interesting information in the spring. So you got two main seasons whenever you would grow wheat. You can grow it in the spring, and it takes about what, 4 months, Zach?
Yep.
It takes about 4 months for your wheat to be ready to harvest, right? It takes about 120 days, roughly. But then you got a time where you plant in the winter, and it takes about 8 months. And me and Ahram was like, damn, so our forefathers was planting wheat in the winter, like in the time of when it's starting to get cold. We like, hold on, bro. I'm not sure. But we was like, damn, like that's crazy if they do, because this whole feast day is in the spring. So it's like, in order for you to bring your first fruits of the wheat, the bread, and you offering it up to the Most High, in order for you to do that, you would have to plant it in the winter. And me and Aharon kind of confounded because we don't know anything about this. We not in tune with the seasons and when you plant stuff and what crops go here and what crops go in and how long it take. But then we came across that information. We was like, damn, our forefathers was they really doing that? And then we seeing this precept in Proverbs 20:4 right now. And me and Aharon was like, damn, it's right there in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there, bro. We got to bring that out again.
Proverbs 20:4, it says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing. Right. And that's insane. Everybody's, it's always going to be an excuse to not do some type of work. Right. Of course, this is a spiritual level as well, but we going over the physical aspect of harvest and planting and so on and so forth. It's always going to be a reason as to why you can't plow, why you can't sow, why you can't reap the harvest, why you can't do this, why you can't do that. And that's when you're going to end up with nothing. You're going to see the brother. You're going to see the brother that started to get into it, and he getting his field ready. You just watching him. You watching him. He plowing his field. He sowing the seed, right? And you kind of just like, man, I just don't feel like it, or it's too cold. That's what a lot of our people will say. Man, that nigga crazy. He out there in the cold. That nigga crazy, right? when it's time to reap the harvest, when it's time to actually gain that back, you kind of in his field. You kind of over there near him. Hey, bro, you said you grew some peppers, bro. You kind of said you grew this, that, and the third. Like, let me. You think I can get some of that? Like, mind you, we got to think of it from a ancient day perspective. Ain't no WalMarts, right? It ain't no WalMarts. Um, there's not an abundance and overflow of just meat that people are eating. A lot of this meat is sacrifices. It's gonna be honest. A lot of this stuff is not just easily accessible. A lot of this stuff is not as convenient. You don't got damn TV dinners. You don't have all these things. You can't just go to the damn local market, grab a fat stack of burger patties. You just kind of walk on your way to the house. No, you get what you work for. Just like the what the Most High told Adam, you know, you'll eat by the sweat of your brow, by the work that you put in. Even in Timothy, I believe it speaks of it. Paul told Timothy, if you don't work, you don't eat. This is common wisdom that's been taught throughout the ages. So this man that's lazy, too lazy to sow in the winter, he's gonna beg in springtime. And that was one of the things that we was trying to figure out last night, because I got some potatoes growing, right? And it's the time of harvest time, and I'm thinking, like, my shit ain't ready. What's going on? But it's because I'm so new to the fact I could have planted these potatoes further back in time. I could have planted them back in time. That way it'd be ready for the time of harvest. But mine's not ready. I'm green to this, right? That's why I was asking. I'm like, that's why we got into looking up this stuff. I'm like, bro, if it take 4 months to do this, why would they plant it? When are they planting it? At first I had the concept of, damn, are they planting these things like during the time of Passover? Like, how are they doing this? Nah, it go back a little bit more. They planting it in the dead season. They planting it in the dead season when the warm season is starting to come back, when life is starting to bring forth. Right?
I got a
Go ahead.
Google thing. So I looked up. I said, why not? Well, let me start with this one. I said, what time do you plant wheat? It says the plant goes into dormancy over the winter months and begins to grow again in the spring. And I was like, okay, so they plant it before all the snow gets there, and then and then it just starts sprouting. But then I asked Google, I said, why not plant in the springtime? It says if you seed in the spring, especially towards the end of the season, the summer heat can actually damage your new grass.
That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start planting when it gets warm, when the time where it actually starts harvesting, the sun can actually kill the
Yeah.
fruit. So that's why they do it before before hardcore winter. They plant it.
Right around
Yeah.
autumn, around that time, and when it's barely starting to get cold.
Mm-hmm.
But man, we got so many fire precepts and powerful points in the chat. I'm really a y'all get me in the spirit even more because there's some powerful precepts and powerful points. Um, y'all hot. Brother said he growing onions and tomatoes. He tried to grow lettuce, but rabbits ate him up. KOY, brother, I don't know who you are. This is my first time seeing you, but you really on fire tonight or this today. It's not even nighttime. So like, yeah. Matthew 25 and 20. He dropping precepts, hot ones. It says, for unto everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have. And this goes into the parable of the talents. He gave each man a particular amount of talents. The one who had 10 talents, the one who had 5 talents, they went to work. They put them talents to work and they increased. So when they Lord returned, he's seen the increase and then he blessed them. But the man who had 1 talent, he was afraid, he was slothful. He was afraid of the wintertime.
Yep.
He didn't want to lose it. For whatever reason, he didn't go do the work. And he said, look, he's not going to have an abundance. I'm going to take what he have, and I'm going to give it to the man who was going to work. Right. So that's a beautiful, beautiful precept. I mean, I like how Aharon broke this down the other night. John 4 and 35. I'm gonna read it. Can you break this one down? That
Yes.
kind. It says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest."
So, according to our calendar, according to how we work stuff, the fourth month is the time of harvest, right? The feast of harvest. This is when stuff is ready to be sold. But Christ is speaking in a parable. He's speaking on spiritual things. He's speaking on men, right? Because we know that we are fruit, right? The scriptures say, "Bring forth fruits worthy of repentance." People are fruits, right? Even trees, we always been represented as something that's growing, something that's giving seed, something that's multiplying, all of that, right? So Christ is speaking on us. Say not that there are 4 months and cometh the harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white, already to harvest. Right? It's ready. You don't have to sit here and what is it? Contemplate on doing the work, because it's talking about the people. It's talking about going out to the fields, going out to the highways and byways. Don't sit here and waste time. And how brothers put it off from day to day. Well, we kind of got time. That's what this going into. We got time. It's 4 months till harvest. We kind of got time until we can go out and do the work, and we got other brothers out there. Other brothers right now putting in the work. So it's kind of we kind of cool right now. No, don't think like that. If you're capable, if the Most High God has put you in a position and able to go do the work, go do the work. Go sow the seed. Go bring forth fruit worthy of repentance. Right? Go reap the harvest. Don't just sit there and just wait and wait and wait, because if you want to be that guy when it's time to harvest, you ain't gonna have nothing. When Christ come back, you ain't gonna have nothing. He said he's coming with a reward, right? You're gonna be that guy with that talent that the Most High God gave you. Like, I kind of held on to it, dog. Like, why the hell did I put it in your hands when I could have put it in his hands and got more? And then it's gonna be a gnashing of teeth, right? That's what the scriptures say. A lot of the time, it's gonna be a gnashing of teeth, and you're gonna be upset because you didn't do the work. You didn't go sow the seed. When the time was right, you didn't want to go do it. You're gonna be a begging ass nigga when it's time to harvest, when it's time to reap the benefits of what other men have sown. That's what it's all about. You reap what you sow. We know this. You gather what you put down. Nigga, you ain't throw no seeds in the field, you ain't gathering anything. That's just it. And I'm speaking in these terminologies because it's the Feast of Harvest, right?
Bro, the Bible, bro, the Most High God's spirit is powerful.
Crazy, ain't it?
I'm thinking of all kind of precepts on how Feast of Weeks is. I see why you got the big three. You got Passover, you got the Feast of Weeks, then you got the Feast of Ingathering, or Feast of Booths, Feast of Tabernacles, to be more precise. I'm starting to get a better understanding of why Feast of Weeks is so important, bro. And all kind of things is popping up in my head. I'm like, bro, the Most High really deal with multiplication. That's abundance. The Most High deals with abundance. He deals with multiplication. One seat, and it makes me think of men. It was a time. It's been times where we met brothers, and they're in a different camp. They're like in IUIC or Sakari or WFI, and they like, bro, y'all bring me into the truth. Like SOJ bring me into the truth, but they with another camp. All praise. I'm like, bro, the Most High. These seeds, they multiply, bro. We plant a seed into a brother's spirit, and next thing you know, that brother brings in a brother in the truth, and he brings in two brothers, and he brings in all from one brother. Now you got 30 men who came into the knowledge of the truth just off of one brother. But he only
Just
talked,
off his word.
bro, just one brother though. One brother started that chain of 30, 50, 100. Think about these brothers, man. They sowing, planting seeds, and they harvest when it's time to harvest. All of these days they went to the highways and byways. All of these videos, I mean, when it's cold, ain't nobody out on the highways and byways, but they still out there. And it might look like it. They work is going. It's going. Brother, that Proverbs 20:4 is still hot. It's cold. Don't
Mm-hmm.
nobody want to go out there and do the work. Guess what? These brothers are still out there. It's drizzling. It's raining. It's sleeting. It's snowing. Brothers are still out there. When it's so hot, and you don't brothers don't want to stop and listen to the word. The sun is beaming on their forehead and on brothers' necks, and you know, but brothers are still out there. Videos that's only getting 15 views, 5 views, 7 views. They work. Look, man, this is what Dahawam dropped. He dropped Psalms 126:5 through 6. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. You sowing them seeds in tears. I mean, it's ugly right now. It don't look like much. I don't even know if this is going to grow. I don't even. It's cold. It's hot. The conditions. That's the condition of the battle, though. It says, "They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weeping beareth precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him." It says the man that goeth forth and he's planting seeds and he's weeping, he's tired, his body is aching, his family is hungry, he can barely make ends meet. He don't know what he gonna eat tomorrow, but he's still out there planting them seeds. He's still out there working. He's still out there making his body a living sacrifice. Come in. I mean, in season, out of season. This brother working. It says, doubtless shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. And he gonna have sheaves. He gonna have an abundance with him when you see him. Salaki, I gotta get this door out. Take over.
I got a
Con,
precept.
Zion, Zion, grab me Luke 15:10, and read your precept real quick. You can break it down too.
This is Isaiah 65:21 in the let's get it. I'll say it in NIV. This is Isaiah 65:21. They will build houses and dwell in them. They will plant vineyards and eat their fruit. So, our people definitely we like if you think about all the farmers in the world, the best farmers in the world are our people. You see how the Hispanics, how they get down in the garden. You see how you know even Jamaicans and the gardening there. It's just all over the world. You just see like we got the best increase when it comes to the harvest. And then I got another one. This was going back to at the end of the day, like Mahar said, he said the most high will multiply the seeds that you plant, bro. So you got to be thankful. And this is Second Timothy 3:1. It says, "This known also that in the last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy." Why is unthankful in there? It's because we always be eating these food and we don't really understand that. Like the Most High God gave us this. You see, this is why I was talking to Captain and I was like, "Yo, like in our prayers, like I gotta say, like Salaki for if I ever was unthankful because there's so much stuff you overlook." And so, right, if we actually had to actually put the labor in to reap our food, we would be probably more thankful. We'll probably be like, "Dang, thank you for this potato in Aharon's house." You know what I'm saying? It will actually bring so much more gratitude if we actually worked real hard for it. But you said Luke 15 what?
Luke 15:10, and hold it real quick. And that's it. That's exactly why. Damn, a question threw me off. Holy troller. Would it be called Pentecost? That's what the Messianic Christians call it. In the Bible, it's called Feast of Weeks. The reason why it's called Pentecost is because Pentecost is a Greek word, and the New Testament was translated in Greek. Penta. Mahar got that breakdown on that Penta. Go ahead,
Yeah, penta is just a Greek word for 5 or 50. Um, and like Aharon said, that's where it comes from. So, but it's still in reference to the same Feast of Weeks. Feast of Weeks just refers to the weeks, 7 weeks that you would count after the Passover, after Pesach, and then that following day after that Sabbath would be would be your Pentecost, right? That would be your Feast of Weeks, you know, your
Con,
first fruits. But it's the same thing. It's just another name to call it, you know. But go ahead.
con. Right.
This is Luke. Oh,
Hold on real quick, Zion. You straight though. But going on to what Zion said, when you don't work for something, you're not really as gratitude, you're not really as great for it, you're not really as gracious for it. And this society, this convenient ass society that we live in, is actually detaching us from the Most High God, right? It's a proverb in the scriptures. I don't know where it's at right now, but it says, money or riches gotten by vanity shall be quickly diminished. Why? If you
Mhm.
get money in a vain way, one example would be gambling. If you get it by gambling, you're not gonna care for it because you didn't work for it. You didn't truly work for it, which means what? You're not gonna value it. And if you don't value something, you're gonna spend it all till it's gone, right? But say the same person earns the same amount of money that this man got through gambling, he's going to hold on to it that much more. He's going to value it that much more, right? So that's a certain way of how we're not thankful. We're not truly thankful for what we have in the Most High God. We're being detached from the Most High God, right? We're not using the earth to get our food. We're using Walmart. We're not really, just go to Walmart, nigga, just pay $20 for this shit. Like, it's whatever. But when you actually growing it, when you're actually praying to the Most High God for rain to come, when you praying to the Most High God for sun to come, when you praying to the Most High God that your crops don't get wasted or animals come and consume it or pests don't destroy it. When you praying to the Most High God for all these things, that food becomes that much more valuable to you. It becomes that much more nutritious to your body, right? Let me grab this precept. Second Ezra 8:41. It says, "For as the husbandman soweth much seed upon the ground, and planteth many trees, and yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up." Everything can be perfect. All the variables can be perfect. This is a quote unquote gambling game or a lot game. Everything is of the Most High God. Everything. You can sow this thing in the right season. You can sow the right seed. You can water it perfectly. You can give it the best amount of sunlight. You can give it the hours it needs. You can put it in the greenhouse. You can do all these things, but it still may not come up. And that's reason of the Most High God.
I'm breaking up. Is he breaking up on you and not? Okay.
God, he broke up. I can get a scripture though.
Okay, bring it out.
This is Luke 15:10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth. I think he was going over the we when we actually plant those seeds and they sprout, man, the angels rejoice.
Khan. Hey, Shaul, Yisrael. Hey, hit up our email for some help. Hit up our email. Look, I'm gonna drop our email. It's gonna be right there at the bottom. If you seriously need our help, just hit our email and we'll try and get back to you promptly. Baba Gashah.
I got a
Actually,
precept.
let me leave that up. Okay, Aharon back.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
God,
you.
All right, Salakia. But we know that all things are the Most High God. Even if you put it, plant it perfectly in a season, it may not come up, and that's because it's of the Most High God, right? It says neither. I'm at Second Ezra 8:41. It says neither doth all that is planted take root. As agricultural people, we understand these things, right? We're supposed to understand these things. This is why we plant many. This is why we do a lot of work, right? In the field or in this truth, right? This is why we do a lot of work so we can reap a lot of that benefit. It says, even so, is it of them that are sown in the world, they shall not all be saved, right? Even though we put in all this work, even though we sow these seeds into so many people, everybody's not going to take root, right? And it can be the perfect breakdown. It can be the perfect season he needs to hear it. It can be the perfect day. It can be the perfect speaker. All the things can be perfect, but it may not ever take root. He may not come into the truth. Zion, can you grab that Luke for me?
God, this is Luke 15 verse 10. It says, "Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth."
Kind. That's what it's all about. It's about the plants, the seeds, the fruit that does take root. That's what it's about. It's about the men that we do reach. It's about the that one potato that do grow. You planted all this, you did all this work. You like, damn, I planted damn near 2,000 seeds, man. I'm hoping to get this much back. And you get that much back, and it's that much more value to you. It's giving you that much value. Just how the angels rejoice over one sinner that repented. Just that one. Like I said, that one can turn into a multitude. That's literally what it is, bro. That's literally what it is. And this is why we thank the Most High God for everything that we do have. This is why we have this feast of harvest. Is to bring glory to the Most High God. Is to bring praise to the Most High God, the only God that does deserve praise, the only one worthy of it, right? Because he makes these things happen. If the Most High God wanted to stop raining tomorrow, he can make it happen in an instant. Elijah made it to stop raining. If it stops raining, guess what? No crops, no farm, no harvest, no food, no nada. You don't eat. You starve. None of that. But when it does rain, you praying to the Most High, the water hour. I've been waiting on this rain for months. I planted these seeds. I did this. I'm just keeping the faith, and I need this food to grow. It's gonna come a point in time when we're gonna need these things to grow. It may not be right now while Walmart and everything's still open, but best believe when that time hit, you're gonna be trying to grow stuff. You're gonna be trying to do this, and you're gonna find yourself depending on the Lord that much more. Lord, you gonna see what Feast of Weeks is about. You're gonna figure it out. Like, damn, the water. I needed this. I've been waiting on this to grow. The stores ain't been open, and man, this has been amazing. But Salaki, it's someone y'all. I've been talking for a minute.
Kind of, Aaron, you told me because you know me, bro. I was raised in the city, my entire life, just about my entire life. So that's all I know. So when it rains, I don't. It's not significant to me. Anytime it rains, you know, I get tired. I'm not really excited. It's just it's raining. You know what I do when it rains? I hop on the game. That's what I do. When it rain, I chill. I kick my feet up, and it's a day for me to just relax. I don't think nothing of it. But lately, ever since Aharon, me and Aharon, we stay in communication, right? A lot of times we operating in a similar spirit. Usually, sometimes he be going off, but other than that, he cool. Told me, he said, bro, I'm starting to love when it rains. And he started telling me why. And I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. And I'm like, the Most High don't do anything without it having plays, and it's just he's so deep. He's so deep. The rain is important.
Everything got a purpose.
Everything got a beautiful purpose. And then I heard a wise brother, he said, man, you got the early rain, the morning rain, I believe, and then you got the latter rain, and you got I think the early rain goes into the beginning, the beginning of spring, and then you got your latter rain, which is towards the end of the year, and those rains are important for your crops. And I'm just like, how he went into it, and how formulated, and how much knowledge how he brung it out. I'm like, it just gave me a better understanding on the whole situation. I'm like, dang, the Most High, like, he doing beautiful things even when we don't have the understanding on it. Brothers got anything they want to pull out real quick? It's still a lot we could go
Nah,
into.
bro, I was just listening. My bad.
It's a lot we could go into. What I titled the lesson, Malachi just came into. We got through the spirit, number 18 times Pentecost.
It's good.
It's good. I was about to say I can't get it over there like that with my laptop. Salaki, KOY, bro, you dropping some hot precepts all day. This is a deep one. It says he feels all things with his wisdom. He feels all things with his wisdom as Faisan and as Tigris in the time of the new fruits. He maketh the understanding to abound like the Euphrates, and as Jordan in the time of harvest. So these rivers are important for agriculture. I was, and a big part of where I got this information from was Babylon the Timbuktu, and it talked about the Nile River that goes through Egypt. And the river plays an important, a very, very big role when it comes to agriculture and these different seasons. But the Most High said He fills all things with His wisdom, and He starts talking about these different rivers and how important it is, for the time of harvest. It says, "And as Jordan in the time of the harvest." So when it comes to harvest time, these rivers play an important. It plays an important role, right? That's hot though. Who are you, KOI? Man,
Mm-hmm.
you hot right now. Man, add me on I feel like he'd be a good fit for our meditation station. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. We'll see. Add me on Facebook at Mahar Rakar. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. And you might have
I
to
got a
send me
precept in Judith.
okay. Let me
This
send
is
me a
Judith
message
too.
real quick. I want to tell him this. Add me on Facebook and tell me
Okay.
that you KOI from our live. That way I know who it is. So I can go ahead.
This is Judith chapter 2, and this is going into I believe Holofernes and Nebuchadnezzar and the Assyrians, right? And he's trying to, he's pissed off at these people. But this is Judith 2 and 26. It says, "And he compassed also the children of Madian, and burned up their tabernacles, and spoiled their sheepcotes. Then he went down into the plain of Damascus in the time of wheat harvest, and burnt up all their fields, and destroyed their flocks and herds, and spoiled their cities, and utterly wasted their countries, and smote all their young men with the edge of the sword." This is a very brutal, I mean a brutal attack on these people, to burn up their fields during the, like, close to the time of harvest, close to the time of wheat harvest. These men have worked on this since the winter. For a man to come destroy it close to time where you're supposed to get it, because during that whole time you have hope, right? You have hope. You like, oh my God, I put down this year. I got this coming. I got that coming. For a man to come and destroy it all. This is how important it is. Even our enemies know how important the time of harvest is. The time of harvest is not just don't get me wrong, it's not just a Hebrew concept. Generally, everybody knows, okay, I need to plant during this time, and then it's gonna come grow and yield fruit in this time. And that was a strategic attack on the people. Now we gotta take this, we gotta take their food out, take their food supply out, destroy that. Mind you, again, not even mind you or again,
Hey,
but crops, food was a big, big important thing, right? But go ahead.
hey, a big thing that I see watching different like shows on TV or one of the things that'll really kill you is when like I was watching Vinland Saga. I keep telling you to watch this show, bro. It's hard, bro. It's hard. It's hard, bro. I'm telling you, Vinland Saga. So basically, you got this kid. His dad, he a mighty warrior. I'm not gonna go that deep. I'm not gonna go that deep. The point is, they would raid farmers and men who does husbandry. Villages, little villages, communities, or even bigger villages and communities. But they tilled the ground. They got husbandry. Them things take time. And it made me think of like how we want everything in this generation really, really quick. But the Most High God was never. He wasn't really on that time. He always was trying to teach us hard work pays off and patience. Them necessities that a man needs to have. You can't be a damn child and think you gonna get everything now. That's crazy. I was just talking to my rib about that last night. How when you fighting battles, when you fighting demons, I was talking to her about war, and I'm like, because we start reading Tobit, and it said he went to go make war like in the 12th year, and then on the 17th year is when he actually actually won the battle. And you know what I'm saying? That took 5 years. And I'm like, these different demons and battles that we face, and it's not gonna, you want this instant, but it's not gonna happen like that. You're fighting a whole war, a whole battle. You got to get these little victories, these little battles, and over time, that's when you defeat this demon, right? That's when, you know, we was really, she really got a better understanding. Getting back to my point, Vinland Saga, one of the things that they always did, I see this consistently. They kill the men, they take the women as slaves, um, and you know it's usually with the kids. They usually destroy them too, or they might take them as slaves too, depending on their age. But one of the this is the point I was trying to get to. They crops, they would burn them things up. This is like on their way to kill them as they stumping onto their territory and coming into their village. One of the first things they doing is setting fire to their crops, setting fire to their houses. That's one of the first things I consistently see. I'm like, I didn't see the significance of it. I'm just like, you know, they starting the fire, all hell going loose. But it's deeper than that. They've been working all year. You know how if you put in you put in months of hard work and you're finna harvest your crop and your enemy comes and burns it up, you know how distraught you finna be.
Hell
The
yeah.
your mind is, you breaking down. You don't know what you finna do now. You put your all into that for your family. You put your all into that. You didn't hold back nothing. You went hard. You
Mm-hmm.
putting in hours upon hours taking care of these crops so you can feed yourself and your family for the next few months and the next years. But it's just one of the things that'll really destroy a man's what is it, heart.
Nigga, your spirit, that'll destroy everything, man.
Is you're
Your
not ready
will
to,
to fight is gone.
exactly, that's what I was trying to get to. Your will to fight is gone. I'm like, dang, bro. I feel like I'm getting a better understanding slowly getting a better understanding. And I'm constantly still thinking about more parables, more precepts, and it's just coming together, man. So this is a beautiful, a beautiful. I mean, we ain't started our first fruits yet, but it's beautiful. I'm getting a better understanding, man. And Lord willing, y'all is too. For sure, for sure. You got
Uh,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What we
Um,
was talking about? Malachi wasn't here when I brought this up. What were we talking about?
We was talking about just like
Come a little closer. Can you hear him?
no.
so like you. We was just talking about like well, I was talking about how like I'm trying to sharpen myself up in the area, just being more on man time and just being on as far as responsibility. I brought out the
You talking about today?
yeah today.
Okay.
Remember what was you talking about?
I was talking about like yesterday or the day before.
Remember that.
Yeah, I already brought it up.
Oh, okay. So what I was talking about though, like the things that we do today in modern times wouldn't be acceptable in the times of our forefathers. Like I really just y'all can laugh at me, but I really just came to this conclusion like in a concrete way that it is not acceptable to not have a job. It's unacceptable. That's the equivalent.
You said I could laugh.
You laugh, bro, because this is ridiculous, and I should have been noticed this. But like that's the equivalent of you like God forbid I had a family and not had a job, but like that's the equivalent of you having a field and just going all year without sowing it. You're gonna starve to death. You're gonna die. Your family's gonna die on some real world time. Like we got faith in the Most High and all that, but like you say, don't tempt the Most High.
Yeah.
Why would you not sow your field?
Why would you not show your field?
Why would you not work?
And it's like, and like again, like it goes beyond just food. Like, bro, you got a whole you Most High. You have the most beautiful voice in Israel. You can sing, you can do everything, and you got guitars and you got everything there. You're not using it. That's just a time that I think, especially our upper, like the generals and captains have really been on. Like, and this I say this just for me too. Is like we have so much talents, and man, we don't even know our capabilities. It's like just as Malachi said, that field is out there, bro. You got a field, bro. Some people could wish they had a field to plant and to reap what they sow, So how much more for those gifts that the Most High gave you? Like you just letting them chill. You know what I'm saying? They get it dusty when they could have got you A, B, C, and D. So it's just
Yep.
I mean yeah.
I had a precept.
Bring it out, and I'm gonna go next.
This Proverbs 10 and chapter 4, and I'm gonna read verse 5 as well. It say, he becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. So if you're dealing with a slack hand, you're gonna become poor. If it says, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. And it's also a precept that says, the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. So you're gonna have plenty, you're gonna have abundance. If you work diligently. You can't sit on your ass and think it's gonna come to you. It says, verse 5, he that gathereth in summer is a wise son. So this is a person that fears God. But he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. It's precepts that go into like the root of wisdom is to fear God. Like people think wisdom is just knowing a bunch of precepts and whatnot. I mean, you should, that's good, but you gotta fear God chiefly first and foremost. And that, like, how that just hit me, that's wisdom. It gotta be, because I'm like, nigga, if you don't work, you're gonna starve. You're gonna die. You gotta fear God, nigga. You don't want to die, so that's why you moving this way.
Mhm.
You don't want your family to die. That's why you can't be lazy. That's
Yeah.
wisdom. That's how being lazy is against wisdom. You don't want your family to die. You don't want to be poor. You don't want to end up being a beggar. You gotta fear. It's really a fear thing.
Like that's what's gonna motivate you. That's gonna move you. Is that what you're trying to
That's
say?
how you're gonna end up moving in wisdom, by fearing God.
I see that. That's hot, man. This right there, KOI. I don't know. I feel like brothers don't. Nobody over here, Officer Aharon, Soldier Zion, and Soldier Malachi, and me myself. None of us believe in coincidences. This is my first time seeing KOI in our Saturday live. Very first time. Zion, have you seen that brother before? Malachi, you seen this brother before? I ain't seen him.
Never seen him in the thing.
I'm actually impressed by the precepts that he pulling out. Look at what he pulled out. Judith 2 and 27. Then he went down into the plain of Damascus in the time of wheat harvest and burnt up all their fields and destroyed their flocks and herds. Also, he spoiled their cities and utterly wasted their countries and smote all the young men with the edge of the sword. He brought out a precept in the scriptures to literally describe what I just broke down in great detail. I'm very impressed now. The water for that. It was a beautiful precept. Hebrew daughter, she said correct. Malachi. From Egypt to Israel. You've been around for a minute here, OG. It says, and the
He's
first
a
of
OG.
all, he is an OG. It says, Ezekiel 44, and the first of all the first fruits of all things, and every oblation of every sort of your oblation shall be the priest. That's hot. It says, Salakian, ye shall also give unto the priest the first of your dough, that he may cause the blessing to rest in thine house. Man, that's where it's at right there, man. That's what you're supposed to do according to the law. The first fruits, you bring them to the priest, man. Sell them for offerings, and man, you get in the spirit, man. That's beautiful right there.
Shalom Alem.
So like, I had a small point.
Okay, Khan, bring it out.
I was just so like we obviously want to bring out our first fruits, but I was like, you know how there's every time there's a good, there's a bad side to things too. So like I'm talking about like what the righteous does, the wicked does in their ways, right? When we serve the Most High God, they serve Satan. So when we give our first fruits to the Most High, look at the wicked. Even they get their first fruits to whatever if that's weed, you know, when the first thing they do when they get their paycheck is they not tithing it to God. They're not, you know, helping their family. They go into their like weed or, you know, the joints and Black and Miles and just all that stuff. Like, it's just crazy how it's like a balance. It's like, you know, if you're not giving your first fruits to God, then who are you giving it to? Because it's gonna go to somebody. So who is it gonna go to? And we just choose the Most High.
Imagine your first fruits. It really tells where your spirit and your heart is at. Your first fruits, like you said, if they don't go to the Most High, where is it going? Is it going to the market so you can make money? Is that where your heart is at, to make money? Is it, it really can say a lot. It really can say a lot. So I like that point that you made. Go ahead, I bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3. If you ain't up on Proverbs, chapter 3, you need to get on that. This is like my favorite chapter in Proverbs. But it say this Proverbs 3 and verse, I'm gonna start at 9. It says, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thine increase. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. You see that? That's just the benefits of moving in wisdom and putting the Lord first. But it also go back because I used to read this all the time, but I never think of it on the other hand. Like if you been lazy and you didn't sow your field, it's not gonna be none of this. It's gonna be nigga a famine in the land. You're gonna die. You gotta really move in the fear. You gotta move in fear, and that's gonna cause you to like how we don't transgress God because we know it's judgments. He not playing that. He gonna come see you about that. So you gotta move in wisdom. You gotta have that fear with you.
Man, we gotta start shutting it down though, because we do gotta get to the camp. Brothers got any precepts they want to pull out before we start closing it up?
I got one right quick.
Yes, I got one more.
This is let's see.
She's a clean person. But like all of them are like,
I'm having a hard time finding it, but basically, I was just saying like, are people to even dedicate their
Here, find it. I'm
firstborn
gonna grab
son?
mine.
Oh, okay, go.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. It says, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And the patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. So is the just like a seed, It says better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. It's better to reap that harvest. It seems grievous to sow the seed, right? But it's a joyful thing to reap the harvest. It seems grievous to go through a pregnancy, but it's better when you reap a child, right? It's always better at the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. And it says, and patient in the spirit is better than the proud in spirit, right? I wanted to touch on the patient part. Patience when you dealing with growing crops, when you're dealing with harvest, because the Most High God, He teaches us in many ways. He teaches us in the regular day. He teaches us every day, right? With all these examples, you can't come in here you can't try to grow crops and grow fruit and grow food with an impatient spirit. You can trick it all off, right? This is speaking on your walk in the truth, right? Because say you growing some food, say you growing stuff, you get impatient, you go to dig it up, you just ruin what you were growing because you were impatient. You just spoiled the fruit thereof because you were impatient. Same thing with this walking the truth. You get impatient, you start tricking stuff off and you fall out the truth. You just spoiled the fruit that was growing. You just spoiled it because you weren't patient, right? So you can't be impatient. You can't be impatient on waiting on the Lord. You can't be impatient on waiting on your things to grow. None of that is wisdom. Impatience is not wisdom, right? But it's on you.
That was hot, bro.
Very hot, bro.
That was hot. It made me think of real quick, Zion. It made me think of on a spiritual level. I heard you say this, but I wanted to elaborate on it just in case somebody missed it. On a spiritual level, say you're new to the truth and you go out and teach people, but you ain't built up enough. You can actually do more harm than good because it wasn't time for that. You got to be built. Your seed, you're not even grown enough to even bear seeds yet. You see that? If you pull something out of, you're not even you didn't even absorb enough nutrients from the ground, nutrients from the sun, nutrients from the rain to be able to bear good seeds. You gotta be a good fruit for you to actually bear good fruit, good seeds. On a spiritual level, them things take time and it take patience, like Aharon was saying.
That was beautiful, bro.
That's hot.
That just get, bro. I ain't been sitting here 30 minutes, bro. I done gained so much.
But nah, bro, this is through the spirit. That's what the title of the letter.
Damn
Through
sure
the
is.
it's through the,
Hey.
Damn sure
it's
is.
through the spirit, bro. I'm telling you, everybody on the live, everybody in the chat, even me myself. I told you, we all getting a better understanding of Pentecost, of Feast of Harvest right now. Everybody, go ahead. You were trying to say something?
Hey, precept to what you just said. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, I hear.
Can you hear me? Or am
Yep.
I lagging or what?
Now you good.
I'm lagging? Are
Can
we
you hear
good?
us?
Okay. I
Yeah.
think it's a little bit of a delay on
Right.
me.
You sound good right now though.
Your sound is great.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. This is Matthew 7:17. It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringing forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Just to throw it on what you said, but it's on one of y'all.
It's on Zion.
This is Exodus 13:2. It says, "Sanctify unto me all the firstborn, whatsoever openeth the womb among the children of Israel, both of man and beast, it is mine." So, bro, Most High created you. He created everything. He created the seed that you're planting. He created everything. So, of course, he's going to give first dibs on everything. He created it. He planted you. He raised you up. He was husbandry, and you growing in the truth. So, of course, he's gonna reap the first things that you do. But yeah, I could digress.
That's only right.
I got the closing precepts.
Bring
Oh,
it
my
out.
bad, Malachi. Nah, because mine is like the 1 Corinthians 15. Do Malachi got a precept?
You got something? I was gonna say Malachi full.
Malachi good. All right.
This was a beautiful live though. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And it was more that I actually wanted to go into, like Acts chapter 2. It was something else. What did I say last night? It was something else. I forget. Oh, and Tobit, that he kept Pentecost Feast of Weeks.
Yeah.
You know what? That just give me something I can go over for camp. So we all good.
This is 1 Corinthians 15 in verse 58. It says, therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So whatever work you put in the Most High God's name, it's not gonna be in vain, man. That's whether you waiting on the harvest season. That's whether you waiting on Yahweh to come. No matter what, if you putting in the work, your labor is not going to be in vain, right? This is Galatians chapter 6 and verse 9. It says, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not, right? Just like the time of harvest. If you get weary in well doing during the sowing season, you're not gonna get a well doing reaping, right? But if you're not weary and well doing, you sow all the seed that you need to sow in due season, you're gonna reap what you sow if you faint not. But it's on you out.
But them precepts just carry even more weight now that we're in the spirit of first fruits. Like they just even heavier. They even heavier right now. So all praise to the Most High for that. The last precept being Sirach chapter 43 and 30. And it says, when you glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as you can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when you exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, because ye can never go far enough. So when you exalt in the Most High God, don't be afraid to shout it out at the top of your lungs. It don't matter if you're on the bus, you're on the train, you're in your car, your wife is right there, your friend. If you can't shout out to the Most High God out of nowhere, like it's time to start changing your inner circle and the people you're around. Like always, man, the water for tuning in and being active in the chat. We're going to close up by giving all honor, all glory, and all praises to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Shalom. Until next time.
Shalom.
Shalom.